Okay, good evening. Welcome to the City of Groton Mayor and Council meeting for Monday, March 7th, 2022. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Present, we have Mayor Keith Hedrick, Deputy Mayor Guinevere Depot, Councilor Rashad Carter, Councilor Paul Norris, Councilor Christine Piazza, Councilor Stephen Sheffield, and City Clerk Megan Peters.
Please stand and salute the flag. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recognitions, awards, and memorials. Okay. Receipt of citizens' petitions, comments. Receipt of citizen. Is there anyone in the audience here for citizens' petitions? Okay. Seeing none, I will skip past this in response to citizens' petitions, comments. Approval of the minutes. I'd like to have a motion for the February 7th, 2022 Mayor and Council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to the minutes?
Yes, there are corrections to the minutes. So due to administrative error, Resolution R-22-2-18, the gray bar purchase order, will be changed to Resolution R-22-2-19.
So that was it was an administrative error on our part. We ended up having two 18s, and so we changed it to 19. Any other corrections to the minutes? Okay. So this is for the corrected minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Need a motion for the February 17th, 2022 special mayor and council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. And lastly, I'd like to have a motion for the February 28th, 2022 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Communications and reports. Councilor Norris.
None at this point, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Sheffield.
Just to mention that COVID cases have increased in New London County this past week, up 14.5%. Although the whole state has gone down, but New London County has gone up, so we must, I believe, remain vigilant regarding the pandemic. It has not gone away, so we must maintain caution, being around crowded people, mask, vaccinate, test. So that's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Piazza.
Just reflection off of Councilor Sheffield's remark is that as a bus driver, I have to say that majority of the students wear their masks on their own since it's not required anymore. So, so that's a good part for them and keeping safe. And besides any other communication reports, I have none.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Carter. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. On February 18th, I attended, I don't know what the title of it is, but the mayor and I went to support a former city resident, April Tischler, won Gold Star Coordinator of the Year on the Navy base. She's a civilian employee that coordinates all the Gold Star events for this area, I believe. But she got awarded that by the Navy, so we went to support her. And the event actually was awards for a bunch of different people. So it was really cool to go to the base and see all of the awards that they give out for certain things. They had a group of people who saved, there was some damage to a boat that they noticed early, so they gave an award for that. And it was just kind of neat to see the interactions between the leadership there. And I've never been there for a ceremony like that, so it was just really neat. But I just want to say congratulations to April for winning that. She works really hard, and I follow the Gold Star page on Facebook, and she's always working hard for Gold Star families. And we just really appreciate her work for our community, because those are people who live in our community. And so that was really neat to go. On February 25th, I also volunteered at the food box distribution. And, oh, actually, it wasn't the 25th, we moved it to the following Monday. But the food box distribution, we moved because of the snowstorm. And I just want to reiterate that we do them every month, and anyone who needs food, please, they can contact us if they need food delivered. I made 6 deliveries, I think, that day. So we have time to deliver food. If you need food, please contact the mayor's office or, which I'm sure he'll repeat the phone number in a minute, or email us. You can call or email, and we can get food to you if you need food. And lastly, I attended, I don't remember the date, but I attended there was a parking study meeting with many, many people on it, including EB and police department and the mayor's office. And I just wanted to mention it because I think it's important that we are paying attention to the parking issues, and we have representatives from EB are involved in. I personally wanted to make sure that they knew kind of the perspective of the residents, because we've looked, EB's had a parking issue forever, and I know lots of people who work there who don't feel supported by the company, but the representatives on the call seemed at least interested in our feedback, and that has me hopeful for it was several solutions were presented, and it's still really early in the process. Nothing has been decided, but if people have ideas or recommendations or thoughts on parking in the city or issues, please feel free to contact us, because it's something that we are actively working on in the background, and everyone's input really makes a difference. For example, I was able to speak up on the call from the feedback that I've had about EV parking. I know that Councilor Carter lives down on Thames Street, so he sees the impact of the parking issues from EV. I think it's important for the residents to have a voice and to say, we need a solution. What's happening now is not working. We have EV people parking on all the side streets, and we really do need to find a solution. So if people have feedback, you can feel free to email me at guinevere.depot@cityofgroton-ct.gov. So long. And I plan to stay on top of the parking study because it is something that I'm interested in. And yeah, and off of Councilor Sheffield's, I believe that the White House has now approved more at-home tests. So there was a thing where you could get 2 tests, so now you can get even more. So if you go to whitehouse.gov, you can go on and order more at-home tests for COVID. So I want to reiterate what Councilor Sheffield said. Please be vigilant, and if you can use tests, or even if you can't at this time, I have a couple at my house that I just keep just in case. So go to whitehouse.gov, and everyone can get a couple more tests to keep at home just in case. So I would encourage you to do that. That's all.
Okay, thank you. So the ceremony that we attended at the base was a quarterly awards ceremony. They do Sailor of the Quarter, and then this time was Civilian of the Year and some other awards that were people that were being recognized, both military and DoD civilian. And that's always, good to go to that because of the pomp and circumstance. And that's Captain Ken Curtin who is doing that. He's the commanding officer, Naval Submarine Base, New London in Groton. So a couple things, I attended a Blue Ribbon School ceremony at the Thames River Magnet School on the 15th, and it was a pleasure to be there and to meet the teachers and to meet the staff that had previously worked at Mary Morrison and now transferred over. And it's a great thing for the school to start off as award winning. On March 3rd, I attended a community resilience workshop. We had a large turnout of residents that came out and were interested in this. We had some academics from UConn Avery Point. We had some members from different boards and commissions. So that was a good turnout. And all that information will go into the eventual write-up and recommendations for resiliency for the city of Groton. Third, on March 25th, we have another food drive. It's going to be at St. John's. And like Deputy Mayor Depot said, if you can't get out, let us know, and we will pick up food and bring it to you. And that number is 860-446-4103. And then also this coming Saturday, Farmers Market on March the 12th from 10 to 1. That'll be here. And then keeping with the theme of COVID, we have COVID test kits in the building. You're gonna have COVID test kits. I know you sent me an email. Clerk Peters sent me an email today saying she was out, but we have more. So we'll get a box to bring them up. That way we have COVID test kits here. All you have to do is just show your residency and you can get 2 test kits. We also have N95 masks as well. A couple more things. A couple weeks ago, there was an accident on Mumford Avenue crossing Rainville. And it occurred early in the morning, around 6:25, 6:30, somewhere along in there, with EB's oncoming shift. The other day, I went and stationed myself there at that corner, took a lot of pics, posted them on Facebook, and have been working with Electric Boat to talk about this and to educate the employees about making sure that you cross at the crosswalks. Now, this particular individual was in a crosswalk when they got hit. So one of the things I noticed is, one, people are not walking in the crosswalks, but two, you also have, once people do get in their cars, they're ready to get out of there, and they're not always paying attention. And there were people blocking the box, and if you don't know what that means, is the 4 squares of the rectangle form a box. Stay out of the box so the pedestrians can cross. It's also where people were crossing and the people in the cars were edging up to look for just a 2 or 3 foot gap so they can zoom through. We got to work together on this so that we make it safer. Because if we don't make it safer, I'll go down there and I'll shut traffic down. I don't want to do that, but it is important to me that we keep people safe. Now, since then, there's a couple more things that we did. We did an internal investigation, and the city is not at fault for any of this. And there were a couple things that we decided we were going to do as additive measures. So one thing we did was on the flashing signs, as if these big flashing signs aren't big enough, we put strips, reflective strips on the poles. In addition to that, the state was down there today painting the sidewalks with reflective paint. And we've evaluated the lights, and we're good with the lights. And then, let's see, there's one other thing that we did today. Nope, that was it. We made sure that we had the new LED lights so they're brighter. We checked the timing on them; they're working, and so we've done more. I am going to resurrect the meetings with Electric Boat so that we can continue to evaluate the area there. But this parking study, when it eventually comes out, and we'll talk more about that in just a second, when that comes out, it's going to be important because we're looking at having 3,000 more people come into the city of Groton for employees. That's the number of employees they're going to need. So if we're having challenges with parking now and challenges with people coming in and coming out, those challenges are only going to get bigger. And so we are already starting to look at that and evaluate what we can do. On the parking study was championed by Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments through a JLUS grant, a Joint Land Use Study grant, so that we can evaluate parking, how many spots are available, how many do we need, where can we put people, are we talking satellite parking, are we talking parking garages, all those things are on the table. I am meeting with Electric Boat next week. Well, we are establishing a meeting. The meeting has not been established yet. We're going to establish a meeting next week so that city staff and I and the Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments meet so we can talk about the parking management plan and ensure that we have electric boat buy-in, because this really is electric boats issue, right? The parking is for their employees, and I need to ensure that they are partners, willing partners in this whole thing, so that we help keep people safe and get people to and from work. So more will come out of that. Eventually, we will have a meeting. It'll be a presentation at a committee of the whole for council. So that's it. That's all that I have. Committee referrals. Are there any committee referrals?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, hearing none, we will move on. New business, Counselor Norris.
R-220320. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the appointment of Brian Clinton at 12 Pepper Ridge Lane, Groton, Connecticut, to serve as a member of the Ledge Light Health District Board of Directors, term to expire on March 7, 2025. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-22-3-21, therefore be it resolved that the City Council approve the appointment of George Scully, 37 Pennsylvania Avenue, Groton, Connecticut, to serve on the Representative Advisory Board to the Southeastern Connecticut Water Authority, term to expire on March 7th, 2024. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Deputy Mayor Depot.
It normally says mayor and council, and this one says city council. Does that matter?
We can make what are the rest of them say, mayor and council, right?
The one above says
Let's-
mayor and
let's
council.
ma- And the one after says, so let's make a pen and ink to revise that to say mayor and council, to be consistent. So that's an administrative change. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Sheffield.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-22-03-22. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council appoint Tony Patterson to the Youth Advisory Committee for the purpose of advising the mayor and council on issues related to the community's youth, term to expire March 7th, 2025. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Piazza.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 20-22-03-23. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council appoint Myasotis Santiago to the Youth Advisory Committee for the purpose of advising the mayor and council on issues related to the community's youth term to expire March 7th, 2025. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Carter.
Thank you. R-22-03-24, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council appoint Andrea Lennox to the Youth Advisory Committee for purpose of advising the mayor and council on issues related to the community's youth, term to expire on March 7th, 2025. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Norris.
Your Honor, R-22-03-25. Therefore, may it be resolved that mayor and council appoint Keanu Strickland to the Youth Advisory Committee for the purpose of advising the mayor and council on issues related to the community's youth, term to expire March 7, 2025. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-22-03-26. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the reappointment of Eric J., 30 Hillside Avenue, Groton, Connecticut, as an alternate member, Eastern Point Historic District Commission, term to expire on February 1st, 2027. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Sheffield.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-22-03-27. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the reappointment of Marcia Gipstein, 6 Shore Avenue, Groton, Connecticut, as an alternate member, Eastern Point Historic District Commission, term to expire on February 1st, 2027. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Piazza.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution -22-03-28. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to Phaser Engineering Services, 14 Industrial Park Place, Middletown, Connecticut, preferred vendor, for amount not to exceed $174,180, $8 and no cents, including a 10% contingency for materials and testing of the 1X transformer to be paid from the transmissions lines 1410/1280/400 Buddington Substation, fiscal year 2022 bond fund project. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Carter.
R-22-03-29. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the donation of 6 surplus monitor desk stands to Groton Aluminum Falcon Robotics Team, 101 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? We did, Deputy Mayor,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt what you're saying.
okay, we did verify that we have 6 stands, so there are 6 that will go to the aluminum Falcons. We do have some extras if staff needs them. Deputy Mayor,
I was just gonna say, I was thinking about this after the meeting last time. Considering that Groton Utilities is a sponsor of their team, would it be possible to have a demonstration at one of our committees of the whole? Because I don't know that a lot of, like, city kids might not be aware of that club, or I think that might be kind of cool to see a demonstration of their robot.
get the Falcons to come down here?
I mean,
That'd be great.
they don't have to, but I just think it would be a neat
Or we can go
thing
see the
considering
internet
that,
competition.
or we could do that,
I'm joking.
Yeah, we're not going to Miami.
field trip. Just kidding.
It's not in my budget.
I just thought it might be kind of
Sorry.
nice considering we sponsor them, and I don't know how many city residents know, because they didn't exist when I went to high school.
I agree.
So I just think that would
They
be
might
kind of
have
cool.
existed either, I just wasn't interested. But that's a good thing, my cousin did that, and that's I actually would have been interested, just didn't have the time.
Yeah, I went to a demonstration, actually not a demonstration, I have gone to a couple demonstrations. I actually went to a tournament, and it's pretty cool watching what the kids can do with the robots.
Is it a high school team?
Yeah,
But
It is?
I think they do start some in the middle school.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because there's actually a couple of students I've been talking to in my elementary run that are extremely intelligent in math. I just think they have a gift for it. And I've talked to them about robotics. Have you ever thought about robotics? Do you know what robotics is? Blah, 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 blah. So I love that idea.
Okay.
So it kind of inspired them.
Let's see if we can get
to-
them
here.
Yeah.
okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Norris.
Your Honor, R-22-0330. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council grant a 1-year extension of the license and waive the security deposit for Groton Public Schools Food Services Department, 1300 Flanders Road, P.O. Box K, Groton, Connecticut, to operate a refreshment facility at Eastern Point Beach for the 2022 season. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstention, motion carries. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Thank you, council, for coming out. Mary, thank you for coming out. Sorry we didn't need you.
Thanks for coming, Mary.
I'm glad you were here.
And FYI, the robotics team does come to see it, and they do a demonstration with what they build and stuff, and they do it on the field last year.
Oh, that's good.
If you come to Groton
So I'll have to
Well, City
inform the
Day, right?
kids.
They were here, City Day.
Rock City, they've been doing it for a number of years now.
Okay, I'll have to put that out.
I don't know that Steve and I could have.
I'll put it on my bus when they come in.
I wasn't smart enough to be